Right, I'm going up a track I found on Wikiloc. It is quite rocky and steep, but so far so good. No problems so far. Quite tired at the moment, but yeah, nothing beats going off-road. So here we go. You.
Welcome back to another episode of the Solo Adventure series. After spending a few relaxing days by the coast, it was time to get moving again. As much as I love the beach and the sea, the mountains were calling, and I couldn't resist. This trek kicked off somewhere near Lucca and winds its way about 80 kilometers north, brushing up against the Emilia Romagna border.
So far, the vegetation on this track has been really beautiful and diverse. It's like all different kinds of plants here.
The going was a bit slow. Some washed out sections, a few rogue rocks sticking out here and there, but nothing too crazy. Now, just to be clear, I'm not out here chasing the hardest off-road routes. I'm not into extreme off-roading. My setup is all about overland touring, finding tracks that connect point A to point B, while revealing places most people wouldn't normally see. Sure, the footage never quite shows how tricky things get, but even smaller obstacles, like those washouts, get the adrenaline going. Still, I managed to keep a good line and even made it through a little wheel lift moment. Always fun.
So this is quite washed out, but I managed to get through it. Was fun. I think I didn't touch anything, but yeah. Around here, this was, as you can see, it's quite deep. I touched the diff here. That's okay. But yeah, that was my very first wheel lift in the HiLux. That was fun. Woo! Let's go. Well, this is going to be interesting.
I came across a tree hanging pretty low across the track. Now, I do carry a chainsaw for situations just like this, but I decided not to use it this time. The tree didn't really need to come down, and it was tangled up with a few others, which could have made things a bit risky. Plus, I had no idea how long it had been like that, so I wasn't sure how solid the wood still was. It looked like it might just hold, and I figured I might just fit underneath. So I gave it a go, It was tight, just a few centimeters to spare, but I made it through. Lucky. Onwards. Not long after, the trail got a lot steeper and rockier, and traction became a challenge, but nothing the mighty HiLux couldn't handle. I pushed on and eventually crossed the hill, greeted by an incredible view of the mountains. That would be today's destination. Woohoo! I can't wait to get there. Before heading deeper into the trail, I add down the tires some more, a key part of my off-road routine. It improves traction and makes the ride smoother by letting tires mold around rocks and bumps. I also take that moment to inspect the suspension and check for any damage. A quick daily check that keeps me rolling safely. As I continued toward Emilia Romagna, the landscape began to shift. The pine trees gave way to lush forests filled with oaks and beeches. It felt strangely like home. I hadn't seen another soul all day, but I did come across some ancient chestnut trees that were just breathtaking. It is indeed quite rare to find big chestnut trees like this in the middle of a forest. At least where I am from. They must be hundreds of years old. The track kept climbing through the forest until eventually I broke through the tree line. From there, the path narrowed, hugging steep drop-offs that definitely got the heart rate up. But the views, especially of the Carrara Mountains, made it all worthwhile. This is why I do it. Why I love four-wheel driving. To reach somewhat remote, epic places like this, there's just nothing better than the feeling of being out here, driving these quiet mountain trails with views I will never get sick of. With the sun dipping low and a full day of driving behind me, I knew it was time to find a camp spot. And I had a feeling it was just around the next bend. And sure enough, I found the perfect place. I set up the tent, whipped up a quick meal, and spent the evening soaking in the incredible views over the Italian landscape. How good! If you made it this far into the series, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.